We have a guest in studio tonight. I want to thank him so much for coming down. Carlo, thank you so much for coming down.
He came up, actually.
Yeah,
He came up.
It did take me 35 minutes, though.
Did
I
it?
got up here pretty quick.
Wow.
Good. So, you recently had a situation happen to you, and I'd love to let you, at this moment, take as much time as you'd like and explain in detail what happened.
All right. I'm going to give you the cliff notes because I want to give it some impact without dragging out. All right. I'm a comedian, and part-time I do some acting. I've done acting before. I've done Law and Order as background. I've done movies, all professional stuff. So I seen a lot of my friends on Facebook were doing a lot of independent stuff. So I said, let me try it, because you never know, these small movies, sometimes they get in a film festival and they blow up. So I saw an ad on Facebook posting for casting calls for a movie called Vendetta Games. They're looking for bodyguards for a drug deal. I could do that. It's a stereotypical role, but now, here's the rub. There was no pay, but it's copy and credit. Okay, it was a Monday, I had nothing to do. I'll network. Well, you never know. So I show up Monday morning, and my role was, like I said, a bodyguard. And our scene was a simulated car chase scene. There was a car on set, me and another driver. The driver was there. I was in the passenger seat. I was given a gun, which I thought was a prop gun. We drove around a residential area of Woodbridge, like between a 4 and 5 block radius. And all I had to do was just hold. I didn't fire any projectiles. It was just like when you were a kid, you went cowboys and bang bang. I held the gun out the window while we drove, and I was pretending to shoot at a car in front of me. The car was going to be filmed later, and then the sound was going to be dubbed in, whatever. So we shoot the scene. The scene only takes about 5 or 6 minutes. Wow. We get back. Yeah, that's it. That
was quick.
Wow. Yeah, it was actually with GoPro cameras. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's the whole 6 minutes, just about.
Where did you hear the rest of this?
So then we come back. Now, bear in mind, this isn't in November of last year. This was at the height of the Paris attacks.
Okay.
So everybody's amped up. Everybody's all charged up. We get back. 2 minutes are sitting around. Now, I have the gun here. I'm in character. I'm standing in the driveway. I'm not out menacing anybody. I'm standing here. I'm waiting to shoot the next scene. 8 cop cars show up. 8 cars rolling up hot.
You could have robbed any store in Woodbridge at that point.
Right.
We should have known this.
Well, I got a couple of banks and 7-Eleven.
Gene, there's 8 cop cars here. Hit the bank.
So they come showing up, and apparently neighbors saw us filming and called the cops. And you know what? I don't fault them for that, because if I lived there and I saw that,
sure.
I don't know what the hell's going on,
Right.
So they come up, who's the guy driving? Who was the guy with the gun? I said, I'm right here, we're acting, we're doing a movie here. The cameras were plainly visible, you could see. There was about 8 to 10 of us there between cast and crew. So I said, it's right here, we're actors, we're shooting. I pulled it out slowly, I handed it to them. So they start questioning it, and they're being really nasty about it. I understand that they got a call, a gun, and that's their job. They're doing what they got to do. And I don't fault them. I never did. I haven't vilified them or the prosecutor.
Someone didn't do their job, though.
Well, yeah. It turns out after they questioned everybody, the film company did not have a permit. So nobody knew they were going to be there. Second of all, the gun that they gave me wasn't a prop gun. It was a BB gun. Now, in the state of New Jersey, because of the Graves Act, whether it's a water pistol or an assault rifle, it's like having the same thing.
Really?
A water pistol?
Yeah, a gun is a gun is a gun in New Jersey.
Wow.
So even if it's a toy gun?
If I went up to like say an armored car with a water pistol, I would get severely in trouble for it.
Whoa.
You or everybody?
Anybody.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because they view it as a threat. Now, bear in mind, and I've said this before, I have a criminal past which includes a felony, and legally I'm not supposed to touch a gun. But I had no knowledge that was a gun. I had no knowledge that a BB gun was considered a real gun. I had no knowledge that that was a BB gun. And my intent wasn't to commit a crime. My intent was to shoot a movie. And I'm not supposed to show up on set and ask if they have their permits. It's not an actor's onus to do that. That's on the production company. De Niro doesn't go up to Scorsese and go, excuse me, Marty.
Can I see your permits?
Can I see your permits? No, it's just not happening.
That's an assumption.
Yeah, I'm supposed to show up, eat craft services, and go home.
Right.
And do my thing. And it's now I spent 4 days in Middlesex County Jail. I call my girl. She comes down. She does. As a comedian, every time you do something, they think you're kidding. So it took me like 10 minutes to say this isn't a prank.
Yeah.
So she calls the director, Andre Joseph. He's like, yeah, don't worry, we'll send somebody down to bail him out. Meanwhile, it's like I'm there 6, 7, 8 hours, and even the cops like, is somebody coming to bail this kid out? So she gives him Andre's number. He's like, when they found out the bail was $10,000, they go, we don't have it.
Oh.
We don't have it. You're beat. So it took her 4 days to round up the money.
Wait a minute, even through a bail bondsman?
Well, she had to go and get one, but she had no help from nobody. She called a friend of mine that I know a long time. He goes, listen, I'll give you the money, but what are you going to do for me?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I swear on my father's grave.
What are
He
you gonna
actually
do
was
for
looking.
Now you take an ugly story, made it ugly.
Yeah. You know, and she was pissed off. She goes, you don't keep your money. I don't need it. And finally, family members, Tom Mangelli, had $120 in the bank. Gave my girl $100 and says, here, I hope this helps, and drove her around all day. They had to keep going back and forth to Western
Whoa.
Union and bail bondsmen. And I'll never forget that kid for that.
I've seen
Wow.
Tom 4 times since this. He never mentioned a word.
No, well, you know,
He's a good guy.
Oh, he's
Wow.
very unassuming. He'll give you the shirt off his back, and he's really a good-hearted guy.
Yeah, he is.
You know, it took her 4 days. I got out. Now the rub is I'm facing 5 years for possession of a weapon.
Is that the minimum?
That is the minimum. That's
Yeah, but-
mandatory.
That's a mandatory.
Right. If they don't.
It's like the
Well-
Rockefeller drug laws.
Right. And see, that's a black letter law. It's not.
Mhm.
See, what happens is the prosecutor has no discretion for this. And because of the attention this has garnered, Declan O'Scanlan, who's an assemblyman,
Right.
and John Bramnick, who's the assembly leader,
Mm-hmm.
they're pissed off. They said, this is ridiculous. They're going to introduce legislation. It probably won't help me, but they're like, they don't want to weaken the gun laws to let people get away with stuff. They want to just say, look, let's give the prosecutor some discretion for people like me that fell through the cracks.
Well, don't they have to take the situation into account when?
No, according to what he's saying.
Yeah, I understand that, but
There's
that's
a lot
not
of
the
disconnects here that I
spirit of the. Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. That they don't. It's almost as if they're just looking to put people away instead of addressing a situation. I mean, it's a movie set. Okay, we get it. Yeah, tell the judge the story instead of looking to nail you to a cross. Even a prosecutor at this point should have been like, it was a
This
movie.
is what I don't understand. They're trying to make me look like John Dillinger. I'm not that guy on paper anymore. And all my stuff on my record is all theft related from back when I was a kid.
Yeah, the violence in that.
No violence, I never did a drug in my life, no alcohol, no SVU crimes, no violence. It's all like theft and burglary when I was just stupid, sticky fingers in a department store, which I had a problem with. And I'm not ashamed to admit it, but I'm not that person anymore.
Right.
But I don't understand is, I was all the people there, I was the only one arrested. Why wasn't they held culpable or liable? Supposedly they got a ticket for filming without a permit, but I can't confirm that. What I think happened is, after the cops conferred, they said, all right, you're under arrest. I'm sitting in the car, and they're still milling about. I guarantee you that director, because this is an issue that came up recently, he told them that it was my gun.
Oh.
And this is what they had. And I went to my first appearance on March 22nd in the middle, and their first offer was 3 years, and you'll be home in a year.
Right.
I basically told them politely, with all due respect, stick it, let's go to trial.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like the prosecutor was pissed off that I did that, and the judge was like, are you sure you know what you're doing? Are you sure you know what you're doing, that you're wasting taxpayers' money over something so stupid that 99.9% of the people that hear this think it's crazy? I'll take my chances at a trial.
Now, is that going to be a jury, or is that going to be before a hearing before a
You
judge?
can call that, can't you?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
definitely a juror.
Okay, good.
Well, here's the good thing. I haven't been indicted yet. That's the funny part. It's got to go to a grand jury first.
Oh, they're going to just throw it out at the grand jury level.
Well, I doubt that's going to happen because they're going to present it in a way that's going to pass.
Well,
What's
how
the-
are they
what's the-
presenting it?
what's
How
the
are they
famous
presenting
saying?
it at this point?
A grand jury can indict a ham sandwich.
Yeah.
Right.
But how are they? How is the prosecutor presenting this? Because on the surface, I mean, when you hear the story, you had a gun, even if it, you were in a car shooting a movie,
Right.
and you had a gun. I don't
They're saying
see
because it's a weapon,
right,
and like I said, the mandatory for this is 5 years.
right.
Now, if I go to trial and lose, they're going to hit me with this thing called the Certain Persons Act, which means certain people are not allowed to touch firearms.
Mhm.
Convicted felons, somebody who's had a dishonorable discharge is not allowed to touch a gun.
Mhm.
There's a whole list of, and if I lose, not only are they going to attack on the 5 years, then they'll hit me with the Certain Persons Act. I could be looking at an upwards of 10 years to 15 for this. And you know what?
And that stuff the cop didn't know.
Oh.
So it was up to the cop to to charge you that time.
Listen,
Take in, I mean.
when my girl was down there, the detective wasn't involved with the case, just happened to be talking to her in the lobby.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know, why did they bring this kid in?
Yeah.
This is a Woodbridge detective that's saying this. You know what it is? And nothing against God. Their attitude is lock them up, let the courts figure it
Yeah.
out. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And that's what they did their job.
There's no
Technically-
discretion. Yeah, but
Technically, I
use
was in
common
possession of
sense.
it.
They're
If you
not
wanna get-
robots.
You know, if you want to get a technical, I was in possession of it. You know, you could have gave me a
Let's
municipal
clear it up one more
order.
time. It's a BB gun. Actually,
Right.
wasn't it a soft pellet gun or something?
It's an airsoft
Yeah,
rifle.
Oh, it's not even a BB gun.
No.
I don't know how you classify. There's so many different classifications. Thank God for Bill Spady on 101.5. He's been championing everybody on that station is behind me. The two assemblymen, the whole public, all the news media, like they don't understand why this has gone this far. People have been calling the governor's office. People have been calling the prosecutor.
There's a petition, isn't there?
Yeah.
Now, what if the governor can just dismiss everything out of hand, right? That's like
I guess after
pardon?
he gets convicted.
You have to wait.
Yeah.
He's right. I would have to get sentenced, and then he can pardon you.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
can't get involved in an
Jesus.
active court case
Yeah.
as an elected
Yeah.
official.
But he's got two powerful.
Listen, I'm a pimple on an elephant's ass. He's got more things. He's got problems that he's not going to help me.
Would you think
Well-
with the influence of Bramnick?
I hope
And
eventually.
Scanlon did a lot. I mean, he got rid of the red light cameras for us.
You know, he's great. This guy needs to be
Yeah?
governor.
Yeah, that was the guy.
Oh, Scanlon needs to be governor. He is
He
great.
championed that whole thing.
You know, and John Bramnick, them two guys need to be the governor and the lieutenant governor
Yep.
and get this state back in order.
Actually, governor and speaker of the house.
Speaker, yeah.
Is that how that goes? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I watch Benson, so I know lieutenant governor. That's how I say it.
That to me is just.
You want some of those guys speaker of the house and go through the stuff we're going through now.
I mean, I'm disappointed in the police for not being.
Johnny, you grew up in neighborhoods like that's what they do. They lock you up and they let them sort it out. They're doing their jobs. You know, what am I going to say? You know, I made a mistake.
Was it loaded?
No, not at all.
It wasn't even charged, right? There's no batteries
No,
in it.
there
There
was
was
nothing in it. No.
So it was impossible. And
It was operable, but there was nothing in it. You know what I'm
That's
saying? And that was their whole big
crazy.
thing. They tested it. It was operable. Isn't there serial numbers on those things? Look it up and
I
see
don't
if
know.
I bought it.
I don't know. I think it's like a toy. I don't
And-
even think it's actually. You can buy one at Sports
is a
Authority.
toy.
You could buy, in New York, you can buy one.
It's
No, you can buy one at Sports Authority.
You can get one at
No.
Walmart in certain
Not right.
Yeah, you
No,
can.
don't you need a permit?
No, it's airsoft. It's a toy. It's not even considered
And
a.
Dick's, right?
Yeah, you
Sporting
can,
goods.
you can go to Sports Authority or Dick's or Walmart. You can buy
You
these.
can't buy a BB gun in New Jersey.
But this is airsoft. It's a
Airsoft.
soft
It's a whole
pellet.
different. I don't know how it's so many different. And I heard people on 101 like callers saying you can. It's a gun. It's not a gun. You don't know who to believe. They called. Bill Spady did a test. He called 4 different organs, and each one of them gave him a different answer as to the laws about
But the
this.
federal government doesn't even classify it as a firearm.
Oh no.
Now, like take the other side of things. Did you know that you shouldn't be even touching a toy like that beforehand?
Oh, I know as a felon that I can't touch firearms.
Right. My point is, were you aware that something like an airsoft?
He didn't think it was
Toy?
an airsoft gun.
No, I didn't even think it was. I thought it was just a prop because
Yeah.
I've been on a lot of movie sets before, and props look and feel like the real thing.
Right.
And I think what they did is they took that orange tip off,
Oh.
and that's why it looked like a 9mm. It was dark.
Right.
It had some weight to it.
Okay.
But I wasn't worried. I wasn't looking at that. I just
It's
thought,
a prop.
okay. It was on my lap,
Right.
and I was just going like this with it. Like now, what scares me the most is imagine if that scene took an extra 3 minutes and a cop showed up while I was doing that.
Ooh, you would have shot you
I would have
dead.
been dead. The one cop, I'm not going to mention his name, but the one cop came in while I was being processed. He goes, "You're lucky I wasn't on that call because you'd be dead right now."
What?
Yeah,
What?
Like he was looking to shoot somebody. I swear to God, I'm not making and I dare anybody that affiliated with the movie company or
Why would anybody even say that?
everything I've said is true. I dare them now their big thing is my lawyer, Jeff Henninger, he's like the attorney for the Second Amendment Society, and they're behind me 100%. They're the ones that have been calling the governor and trying to get this Andrew Carey, the prosecutor from Illinois, they're trying to get him to drop it. I don't know where they're getting this from. They're trying to say that we think he brought the gun there. Because they're getting inundated with phone calls and emails. They actually called my lawyer and said, could you tell people to stop? He says, we're not telling them to do anything. They're doing it because this is messed up what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, I don't know where they're getting that from, but it's just, and I think they're going to, loosen up. But I mean, should have never went this far.
Yeah, but the anxiety waiting for them to loosen up.
It's
There
like,
they
yeah,
are.
it's killing me.
That's,
It's killing me.
that's,
Hey,
that
don't
is-
you have something on your side? Didn't Christie pardon that woman from Pennsylvania?
Oh, Shanine Allen, yeah.
Shanine Allen. She came. She was stopped in Jersey, and she says, "Oh, I just want to let you know, I have a carry permit in Pennsylvania, and I have a gun in the glove compartment."
Right.
They locked her up.
Yeah.
And she
And
got-
that
she got
wasn't
5
even-
years.
Yeah. And
She
that-
got 5 years?
And he had to pardon her.
Yeah.
And my case wasn't even that, you know what I'm saying? It's not as, you know what I'm saying? I didn't cross state lines.
Right, right. And now, do you feel like they just have a beef with you particularly?
I think because you know, I look like a scumbag on paper if you run a CCH
Right.
on me. And I'm embarrassed. You know, it is. I can't change
Right,
it. I'm
right.
not that. Anybody that knows me, I'm not a jerk off. I don't think who I am.
Where's my wallet?
Yeah. I don't even know where mine is, Johnny.
Sticky
got
fingers,
off.
Valerio.
Johnny's got
Once
off.
again.
I know you take the fall for this one.
I made mistakes. My father was a mob guy. He's dead. I
Right.
thought I wanted to do that. I really did. And I just, you know, I just wanted to be over. I mean, I love the attention, but it's not the attention I was looking for.
Right, right.
You know?
Now, what happens, have you mentally prepared yourself at all in the eventuality that
Oh,
things don't go your way?
Listen, I've been away too. It's another thing. You look, you see. I've done that. I've done it before. I'm ready to do it mentally. I'm ready to be a martyr if I have to, because I'm not going to lay down. What did they expect? And they got mad because I had one lawyer. He's a good friend of mine, Anthony Fusco. He's right here in Passaic.
Yeah, I know that guy.
A heavy hitter. He's helped
Yeah.
me all my life. I said, Ant, I said, listen, I don't have money right now. He said, let me make a couple of phone calls. And he was the one that first contacted them because I hadn't heard nothing for months and months. I'm like, I wasn't even getting nothing in the mail about a court date. He goes, you're not a big fan of yours because of all the media I'm doing. I said, well, what do you want me to do? Lay down?
Right.
And I'm not vilifying them. I'm just saying that this is wrong. Somebody needs to do something about this.
Yeah.
You're basically saying that the law that they're enacting is unfair. You're not saying they're unfair, because you're saying they're doing their job enacting the law.
Yeah,
that are on
the
books.
law needs to be
Right.
changed. I'm
Yeah.
just one of those people that's like a collateral damage right now.
Jeez. Pat.
And I don't know, you know,
You know,
mentally it's...
when you came in, I was under the impression that, like, you were fully cognizant and you weren't supposed to be touching this stuff, like you were trying to skirt it, but no, you're not.
I
I
didn't-
mean, I definitely,
I was there shooting a movie, dude.
yeah.
You know, I wasn't running around the set with it. I didn't have no
Right,
criminal
right, right,
intent. I just wanted to shoot a movie and increase my
You look, you're trying to you build your resume. We're all looking to do
Exactly.
that. We're all looking at, you know, like, even if it doesn't work out, we're willing to take a risk on bad
You wanna hear
projects.
irony?
The one I, what?
The Monday, this happened on a Monday. That Saturday, I opened up for Billy Engvall in Pennsylvania. This guy was on the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. 2 days later, I'm sitting in a jail cell with a 24-year-old heroin addict, kicking dope, wondering, like, how did I get here?
That,
You know, the dope reference. I mean, I've heard that used in your case. I mean, if you go on a movie set and you know, let's just take Scarface. You know, all the coke that was on the table and there's probably sugar or something. They're snorting it all up. It's the same analogy.
What am I
This-
supposed
this
to do?
is a
Walk in and
phony
say,
gun,
is
huh?
that real coke?
Real coke?
I mean, like, this is how
right,
stupid
right,
it is.
right.
You know, listen, I'm all for gun control. I'm all for guns, people arming themselves, as long as they're not weirdos or terrorists.
Right.
People
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
protect
just, you know,
themselves,
like-
but I don't want the guns in the wrong hands.
Right.
I'm all for gun control, but don't get carried away. Let people protect themselves as long as they're of sound mind.
Let's just be realistic. It wasn't even a real gun. They should have gone like this.
That's the problem. In New Jersey, every other state, New Jersey's got the only screwed up law, and I gotta, you know, it's so draconian. It's not funny.
What? No laughing. What if it was a Pop-Tart chewed into the shape of a gun? Would that? I mean, it's, from what I'm getting from you, it wouldn't have made a difference. These cops just.
They need to go to the principal's office.
Yeah.
No, anything that shoots projectiles or has is CO2 powered or gas powered is considered a firearms. That's the
Yeah,
whole thing.
but this thing is battery powered. It's a motor that actually spins and shoots them out like.
And it's not even metal; it's plastic.
Yeah.
So which
And they're about the same consistency. Remember those little yellow BBs you used to get when I was in a supermarket? Like
it's
that?
like that thing that Chevy Chase shot John Candy in the ass with in Vacation. You can't even break the skin with that thing. It was like a toy gun. Wow. You know, but because it shoots you can't hurt. I mean,
That's a law that I think needs to be changed.
unless I hold it right up to your eye and shoot it, well, plastic's not going to hurt you unless
Right.
it's coming out at 100 miles.
And it is a soft tip too, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
It's like a foam tip, isn't it?
No.
No,
They're
but
not
they-
even tips. They're actually
It's a hard
like
plastic.
they're sponge.
Oh, yeah.
They're soft. You can
Yeah.
pinch one.
That's
They're
what
like
I'm
the size of a
saying.
pea. You can pinch it flat.
Like a phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, and they took the orange tip off.
Jesus. Now, this director, he's not liable in any
I don't
way.
know why
I
he
mean,
wasn't held
guilt by
liable.
association, as far as I mean, that's what I always was brought
But
up
won't
on.
you go after the people? I mean, common sense. There's no, everybody says.
Everybody should have got arrested. If
I
one
don't-
guy gets, everyone should
I
have.
don't understand why they didn't.
Did they ask who owned the gun?
I don't, see, this is where the disconnects are. They put me in the car almost immediately. So, and they were talking, so I don't know, for all I know, like they might have threw me under the bus.
Yeah.
And said, that was his, we don't know. We just met him today, because that was my first and only interaction with them. But I have, like I said, I have the guy, Bill Spade, he does Chasing News on Channel 9. I have the call sheet, Johnny, of all the people who were on the set that day, all the props were used. And there's 4 guns listed there. But I brought mine, right? Yeah, okay. I brought cannolis
Now
too.
wait a minute though. If there were 4 guns on the set, why was the one that you were carrying the only one that was taken into custody?
Yeah.
Shouldn't they have taken all the guns?
You're the only one holding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't even know. They confiscated.
Well, somebody was holding
They might not
box.
even know that there were the 3. They
Yeah,
don't-
Well, you have the sheet. You have the
They
sheet.
they
They didn't know
confiscated.
about the sheet then.
No, they confiscated 3 items.
Well, that's why everyone should have been
The
arrested.
gun, a holster, which they said I was carrying, which I wasn't. I don't even know where they got the holster from. So whoever's holster that is, and then a GoPro camera, which was in the back of the truck to film the scene.
Oh, so
Because
you got the tape.
it was like a tight shot, yeah. So
So it's been then.
I don't even know if they looked at the tape. I don't know. See what I'm saying? This is all, but like I said, if I got to do 10 years, you know what? You know what?
Take the rest of the guys down with you.
Oh, you know what? If there will be lots of stuff to follow. I don't care. I'm ready to fight. I'll go out as a martyr. I don't care. I know it's a risk because I got
This is
a
just an
career. I
amazing
got
story.
I got a girl. I got stepchildren. They're not my kids, but I treat them like they're my own. I have a whole big life. And things were starting to pick up, and then it's just what a
Jesus.
left turn this was.
This is. I'm sorry that happened to you, man. I gotta say
Yeah, I
it.
tell
To
you
me,
what.
that's like one of the craziest stories I've ever heard.
For the most part, the comedy community has really helped me out. There's just a couple of scumbag assholes that I will take it up with them that's saying that because I was embarrassed, Johnny. I don't have a lot of money right now. I was struggling as it is, and I had to put up a GoFundMe.
Right.
I did it when I opened up the room to comedy clubs, and I always seem to be needy, and I'm sorry if I'm needy, but a couple comics made comments that it's a scam, and I rebuked that, and I you know
Yeah,
what,
so that'd be it.
I will deal with you on another time. I know who the hell you are, and you better pray that I don't run into you, because I don't care, because I'll open hand slap you and knock you all out, because I ain't afraid of none of you, but you better be afraid of me.
Well, that wasn't helping the case. I'm gonna have to edit that a
Yeah,
little
we're
bit.
gonna
That
edit
one might have to. Well.
No, I'm
Well,
just tired of the nonsense. There should be camaraderie, not dissension.
Or
Well-
keep your mouth shut.
or
well-
I gotta be honest. When I first saw it, I said, "What's he funding this time?" That's honestly what I
I
thought.
know, Johnny, and I admit it. I'm not gonna.
You know what I'm saying?
Everything
Oh,
I'm
boy.
doing is above board. It's
Right.
nothing. I'm not into. I don't want to do shit. I used to do shady shit.
I'll
years
be
ago.
surprised. I'll tell you, it surprises me that they're taking it as far as they are, because that to me is, I mean, that's a miscarriage of justice.
And it
That's
scares
not
me
even the
that it could
spirit of the
happen
law.
again.
That's like
It's
that's
not-
a vendetta.
It's the letter of the law, not the spirit.
Yeah, it's a
When you
vendetta.
first heard about it, what was your opinion?
I read it twice.
Because I know you a
Yeah.
while, and I know
Yeah.
you usually land on the right
Yeah,
side. Of
I
things.
just read it twice. I said, what? This makes no sense
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, when I read it too, I'm like,
Yeah, you want to talk about waste of time?
Everybody says there's no common sense. Where's the common sense?
There's no kind of, and again, like he said, it's not the spirit of the law. It's the letter of the law.
yeah, they're not. I mean, honestly, they should have just. I can't imagine being arrested for that to begin with.
I can't imagine the frustration of being thrown in the back of a cop car.
What do you think? Do you think the same thing would have happened if you didn't have a record?
They didn't know.
No, I'm sure they
Cops
know his
didn't
name.
know,
They
no.
did. They did.
They
They asked me
did.
for
They
my
had
name. They ran me.
Oh, they did?
Oh yeah.
So that had a lot to do with it. But that shouldn't. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They should have said, look, what are you doing here? Give me a ticket for, causing disturbing the peace.
Disturbing the peace. You want me to pay a
Causing
fine?
a panic or something.
Right.
Technically, I was guilty. I drove around, not with the intentions to do that, but I inadvertently caused it.
Inadvertently, right.
Because, like I said, what happens if they showed up later, or
Yeah, they're a little trigger
Like,
happy. I
hanging out
gotta
the window with the
admit.
gun.
Oh my God! And it would have been a lot different scenario.
I can't get over that one policeman saying that to you. That's
You know,
wow.
listen, there's good cops and there's bad. I'm usually all for the cops because we need them, and I love doing shows, fundraisers for cops, firemen, etc. But to see that, you know, I just kept my eye. I said, all right, whatever. And I just,
Wow.
We know that.
That's
and I sat in that jail cell in Woodbridge because it took them 13 hours to move me. So I was in a precinct for 13 hours, freezing. It was November. I was freezing, and I'm like, that door's going to open any minute, and I'm going to go home. They kind of realized that this is a mistake. And then after it happened, I'm like, when I finally got home, I'm like, they'll see us. You know, they'll drop this now. November goes, and I didn't. You know, I said I'll deal with it. I said let me get through the holidays and spend time with my family. January comes, they're not dropping this. I'm like, I gotta get this. So I eat the first one I eat. I said I gotta start hitting all these news people.
yeah.
I started emailing. The first one I hit was Help Me Howard. Got back to me in an hour.
I saw that one.
His producer called me, goes, this is a story, and he calls me every other day, Howard, how you holding up? He came to my, the first appearance, they all came to news, and I think that's what they're pissed off about. Because they look like a-holes.
Yeah, and they're going to.
But, you know, it's very easily remedied.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know.
They can drop the and they can drop the charges at any time.
I know.
Well,
Now how much? No.
it's interesting. He's not even indicted yet.
No.
The prosecutor can only do what his boss tells him to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's all a matter of what you know what I'm saying? Like I said, they want to find out anything. Go ahead. Go get a private, go.
Now is this now you escalated? You're beyond municipal at this point.
Oh,
Now,
no,
you're-
this is Superior Court.
Yeah,
This is,
okay.
It was never in municipal. It was
So
always
right up.
Yeah. You know,
So how much money are you down now? I mean, what is this? What are you looking at right now to
I'm in
save
such
your
a
ass?
hole. I do show me. I have $1 in my wallet. That's what I have for the rest of the week until I start doing gigs on the weekend. And I'm getting gigs. You know, stuff's coming in, but I'm playing catch up.
Right.
You know, I had to pay off I finally paid off the bail bond because I had to make payments in, and that was like seeing a loan shark. It was crazy. I finally paid him off because I wasn't allowed to leave the state, so I couldn't travel with
Do you
Angel.
get that back at the end?
No.
The bail? You don't get the bail money
No,
back?
no. It was no 10%. I had to put out my own money. We had to put out $3,500.
Oh wait.
Oh no,
Wait.
you paid like almost like a vig on that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't get
The,
it
the,
back.
the loan shark lays it out. Loan shark. They might as well call him that. Yeah. The bail bondsman lays it out, and then he pays.
He puts up the $10,000 bond, but I had to pay 3.5%.
Yeah.
Then I had to pay back 2 family members, fines, everything. A couple of one of my aunts didn't have any money. She actually almost like got in trouble with her bills just to help me out. And I had to give the lawyer some. I have nothing. That GoFundMe, there's a total in there, but it's 0 because there's nothing. Now because this is going to trial, I put $15,000 as a fail-safe. Now I actually have to get there because it's not. And he says, listen, I want to help you, and he's working really close with me. But he says it's going to cost money to go to trial because he's got a plan. He wants to do certain things.
Right.
And so I'm halfway there. And I'm just tired of
So the
begging for-
GoFundMe is actually working out for you.
It's helped, yeah. It's I can't say that it hasn't helped. And like I said, I don't know.
You know, Hannity's a Second Amendment fanatic.
I've been
give us Fox.
blasting it on Twitter. I got a lot of people involved, a lot of news, and I'm getting calls from radio stations every day. This guy in Tampa, Mike Calta, he was like, this is crazy.
Mike Savage, national syndicated guys.
I've been texting and tweeting everybody and emailing. I was Good Morning America. I'm supposed to be doing that soon. So
Aren't you on with Charlie Rose?
No.
I thought you were on CBS in the morning.
No, CBS covered it. Meg Baker, who was another one of the good reporters, and News 12 New Jersey, Chasing News 101.5. Everybody's been really good, and I just want it to be over.
Where can they help you? Or where can they? What's the GoFundMe
The
site?
GoFund is www.gofundme.com/Raw And the story is right there. And you know what? If anybody wants to dispute one word of this account, I welcome them to prove it. I've come out in front about how my past, and I got in front of it. So now they can't hold it over my head. It is what it is. I'm not a bad guy. I was a bad guy. I'm not that person anymore. You want to treat me like that, then
If they want to contact you, if anybody who sees this wants to contact you, where can you be reached?
You can email me at carlobellario@gmail.com. I'm on Facebook. It's very simple. I'm the only Carlo Bellario on Facebook. And
How'd you manage that? There's like 37 Johnny Hollywoods. I mean, you don't.
He shot him.
He should.
Shaq the rest of them. You know, it's just, I mean, as an entertainer, you love the exposure, but this is not the exposure I was looking
Right,
for.
right.
You know? They say, well, any press is good press, but
Yeah, that
this might be hurting me. Who the hell wants a, like, I don't know if I'm considered a liability now for work. For people that, I'm not going to book this guy. He's in the middle of a mess.
Book Carlo Bellario. He's a funny guy. He shows up on time. He's professional.
Listen, I ain't no better or worse than nobody. I love what I do. I'm old school. I believe in supporting live comedy any way possible.
And there's a benefit for you at Broadway, yes?
Well, we had it,
Oh, yeah.
and Al Martin, like, he was one of the ones that has been real good, donating his club to me, and he's really pissed off about it. And, like, there's a comic in Albany at the end of the month. They're going to try and raise money for me, and I have offered. A lot of comics are stepping. A lot of people that I didn't expect, and some people that I was shocked didn't. And that comes with the business. You guys know.
Yeah.
You know, there's good and bad. You know, there's an underside to everything. There's an underside to acting.
We'll get to that in the next segment. We'll get to the underside, but that Carlo, you know, whatever
I'm
we
sorry I
can do.
took up too much time.
No, you didn't. Not at all. You was
That's
perfect.
what we invited you for.
What's-
That's for the story.
You know,
Yeah.
I just, I tell it the same way every time. I don't change it. You know, it's just, I don't know what to think. I mean, if I got to do 10 years, I got to do it. I got to do what I got to do.
And is anything good behavior, or is that like a mandatory?
If you get sentenced to 10 years, I'll be home in 2 for probation or parole. But you know what? And the lawyer called me the other day. He says, "Listen, you're gonna." He says, "If they find out once they realize that you didn't bring the gun, they'll probably come back with a decent plea, like probation or something. But I'm not going to take probation because now." No, wait.
Wow.
No, I'm not taking it because I can't leave the state, and then it's going to hinder my money.
Right.
What am I going to do? And then I got to go every
So you're
weekend.
basically in prison.
I'm going to go every weekend.
Nice prison, Jersey, but
I've never done drugs in my life. I got to go every week and piss in a cup for shooting a movie.
no.
I want it.
You're right. You're right.
Give me a disorderly person
All or
to
nothing.
downgrade it. That's it.
All or nothing.
I'd rather go to trial. Because if I can't get one jury to sympathize
What a
with me,
waste of time and money.
No,
This
I know
state is
that.
crazy.
I know. And I have a right to be at the grand jury trial. I didn't realize that. I have a right to be there. Nobody realizes
Inside
that.
the grand jury?
I have a right to be at that proceeding.
Wow.
Are you sure?
Yes.
And who presents your side at the grand jury?
I think my attorney does. See,
I'm surprised that you wouldn't go. I mean,
Oh, I told my license I want to go, and I told
I didn't think
him-
you were allowed in it.
Somebody told me that I have a right to be at the grand jury proceeding.
Well,
Anything that
what
involves
I'll tell
me.
you.
So, and he says there's no way it's not going to get no bill because they're going to present it in a way that they're going to make me look like John Dillinger, and then you're going to have to slug it out in court. You know what? I'll go to a court. I'll go to trial. I'm going to tell them. And they says, well, nobody that's familiar with the case is going to be selected for the jury.
Right.
But if you grab any Joe Blow on the street and explain the situation, they're going to say that's crazy.
Right.
So bring it on.
Bring it on. You're right. Well, Carlo, you know, your best wishes to your efforts. You're getting a raw deal. You're getting a raw
It
deal.
is. It really
That's
is.
the.
That's the
That's
GoFundMe.
it, yeah.
That's
I should get
just,
shirts made up. Hashtag raw deal.
you know what? You could now from after this. I mean, Carlo Raw Deal Bellario.
I had a guy
mean,
that came up with a shirt. It says "Free Carl." I says, "I'm not exactly behind, but I need to get free to these charges."
right.
And he put it online, and it didn't sell well. He said, "If we sell 100 for you, we'll give you all the money." But
Yeah.
I only sold 3 of them. So.
Oh, all right. That was your mom, your girlfriend, and your
And
grandma.
collectors and collectors.
Yeah. Well,
For the Carlo
ladies and
Bellario
gentlemen,
family.
if you can,
Smithsonian, right?
check out the story. Google him, and if you can help him out in any way, help Carlo, man, because it's a raw deal.